It is a difficult process. What I do is totally handmade. Basically, what we're doing is controlled composting.
How long will it take you then to make one?
It starts with really good black tobacco, is what we call cigar tobacco. So after the tobacco comes from the fields, it goes into fermentation. Let's say that can range depending anywhere from 1 to 3 years, sometimes 4 years. Basically, what we're doing is controlled composting almost. So we take tobacco in hands in 7,000 pound piles, and just the combination of moisture from the leaf and pressure from the weight of the pile triggers the fermentation process. And then it could age in bales for another year, and then it's passed to the production floor. And then after the cigar is rolled, they usually age in humidors down in where I'm at in Nicaragua for another 90 days before they're shipped. So you're talking 3 years, I would say, on an average.
Wow. And then how long will it
Yeah.
take you to like hand roll them?
So hand rolling, usually a day. We work in pairs in Nicaragua. So every country has maybe a little different style that they use to roll cigars. They work in pairs. So someone bunches what we call the filler leaves, the inside of the cigar, and then a roller puts on the wrapper leaf. And usually a pair can make anywhere from 200 to 400 cigars a day.
But like how different? Okay, you get this exact crop, same region, same guy growing it, same people working it, same like how different can you expect things to be from year to year?
This year, the crop is looking great, but you can see a beautiful crop in the fields. It goes then to the curing barns where it needs to go for another 70, 75 days. If you don't know what you're doing in the curing barn or you're not paying attention, that beautiful crop in the field can go to crap overnight if you're not looking at it properly. It's the same thing then when it goes to years in fermentation. Guys would see me in front of fermentation piles, 7,000 pound piles, and oh man, that's the coolest job. It's the great. There's nothing more stressful than having tobacco in fermentation because it can be destroyed literally overnight if you're not paying attention. And it can then damage the flavor, and it can completely affect the blends that you're trying to come out with. It seems easy when you see the process, but it's very entailed and there's a lot of nuance to it. And it is a difficult process. There's a lot of hands. What I do is totally handmade. So if you make any mistakes, they can cause many problems way down the line. So there's a lot that goes into it. You got to be on it all the time. Otherwise, it can go bad pretty quick.
So when you go through a blend, like how many will you try out before like, okay, this is the right one? Like how long will it take you to get to that final product for that variety?
For me, right now, with just the experience that I've been able to develop my own techniques that I find work for what I'm looking to do. So generally, I'm developing maybe 7 to 10 at the most different blends. And then from those 7 blends, I'm able to maybe make a little tweaks here and there and then get what I'm looking for. So, like the cigar I'm smoking right now is called Olmec. It's our homage to actually Mexican San Andreas tobacco, which is San Andreas is one of the oldest growing regions in the world, also. It actually predates the Cuban seed, but this took me 7 blends. So 7 blends, and I had the range where I was at, made a little tweak. What's happening before that, though, is I'm smoking what we call tobaqueados, where I'm reviewing bales of tobacco and I'm inspecting bales and rolling little cigars and just smoking the bales to check for flavor. So I'll smoke individual components first, and then I'll end up bringing all those components together, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's kind of like if there was a line of I use whiskey or scotch or whatever, it's kind of like you take a little sip and like, okay, that one's this place, and maybe you'll go with that one. Can you pretty much eyeball it? Like, can you look at a tobacco in its refined form or whatever and be like, sweet, sour? Can you look at it?
It depends on if I know who it's coming from and I know who's growing it. The main test for me is the aroma. So the aroma and inspection of the aroma, looking at it, definitely you're getting signs, but you need kind of the three major, the touch, the taste, and the visual is going to give you everything you need.